All right, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to dig into a question that's popping up all over the place for builders and security teams, especially as they're trying to modernize their products. So how do passkeys stack up against access-first systems? A lot of folks see these as an either-or choice, like they're competing technologies. But what if that's just not the right way to think about it at all? In this explainer, we're going to show you exactly why that is. Yeah, because asking which one is better is the wrong question. It's like asking if a hammer is better than a blueprint. They don't solve the same problem, not even close. So let's break down why. Okay, here's our game plan. We'll start with why it's the wrong question, get into this idea of login versus lifecycle, look at the flaws in the old model, and then check out a new design approach. After that, we'll see how the tech fits the architecture, and finally, what the future of access really looks like.
So why is it the wrong question? Well, the whole mix-up comes from the fact that these two things operate on totally different layers. Completely separate levels of your product's architecture. Passkeys and access-first systems aren't even in the same category. You can think of it like this. One is a very specific, very cool tool, like a high-tech lock for your front door. The other, that's the entire architectural blueprint for the house.
And to really get a handle on these different layers, we have to shift our thinking a little bit. We need a new mental model. Seriously, the next point we're going to cover is probably the most important takeaway from this whole explainer, so lean in for this one. Okay, look at this. This table just lays it all out so clearly. On one side, you've got passkeys. What are they about? Authentication. Their scope? Just a single moment in time. That's split second when you log in. And what are they? They're technology. Now, look at access first. The topic is totally different. It's authorization. The scope isn't a moment, it's the entire life cycle. And it's not a technology, it's a design model, an architectural approach. See the difference? One is about proving who you are right now. The other is about what you can do over time. If you remember one thing, make it this. Login is a moment. Access is a life cycle. That just nails it, right? It's the key to unlocking this entire concept. Login is just that one-time event of walking through the front door. But access is the whole journey. It's the blueprint that decides which rooms you can enter, when you can enter them, and how long you can stay.
So you might be thinking, okay, if it's so different, why do we always mix them up? Great question. It's because, for decades, most of our systems have been built on what you'd call an identity-first model. And frankly, that model's really starting to show its cracks. Now, this old model, this identity-first world, it wasn't dumb. It made perfect sense back in the day. Applications were these huge single things, monoliths. Users would sign up once and pretty much be customers for life. There wasn't a ton of regulatory pressure, so yeah, once you logged in, it was just assumed you had access to, well, everything. You prove who you are, we give you the keys to the kingdom, simple as that. But come on, that world is long gone, right? Today's digital world is messy and complicated. We need to give someone temporary access to a file. We've got external collaborators popping in and out of projects. We're dealing with all sorts of regulated, sensitive content. And so many of our interactions are just short-lived. The old model of log in and you're in for good, it just completely falls apart here. It can't handle it. So what's the solution? You literally flip the old model on its head. You move to an access-first design. And what that means is instead of starting the conversation with, who are you? You start with a totally different question. What needs to get done right now? This access-first model forces you to ask the important questions right up front. Number 1, should access even be granted in this moment? 2, if yes, under what exact conditions? 3, for how long? Is this for 5 minutes or 5 years? And 4, for what specific purpose? You see, access becomes the star of the show, the primary focus. Identity is just a supporting character that helps answer those bigger questions. And the principles that come out of this are, honestly, game-changing. First off, access can exist without a permanent account. Think about it. Every time you share a Google Doc with a view-only link, that's it in action. Permissions aren't just a big on-off switch. They're super specific and they're time-bound. Revoking access isn't an afterthought. It's a core feature. And maybe most importantly, data only sticks around for as long as access requires it. This is huge because it dramatically shrinks your security surface area. Okay, so now that we've laid all that groundwork, let's bring it all back together. Let's see how technology and architecture meet. And finally, answer that original question about how passkeys fit into this whole picture. Right, so let's be super clear here. Passkeys are a technology.
They are an absolutely incredible tool that answers a very specific question. How can a user prove who they are securely without having to deal with passwords? They solve the how of authentication, and they do it brilliantly. And on the other hand, Access First is a design model. It's the strategy, it's the architecture, it's the brain of the operation that decides when and why access should even exist at all. It's the thing that asks, do we even need to authenticate someone right now, or can we just grant them temporary access?
And there it is. That's the big reveal. They're not competitors, they are partners. Passkeys are a fantastic tool to use within an access-first system. You build your product with this smart, flexible, access-first architecture, and when that system decides, okay, for this action we do need to confirm who this person is, boom, Passkeys are an amazing, secure technology you can use to get that job done.
And listen, this isn't just some nerdy technical detail for engineers to argue about in a back room. This is a fundamental shift in how we think about building and securing digital products. It's about moving beyond just the login box.
This shift is happening for some very real reasons. I mean, think about it. As users, we're all sick of creating a new account and password for every little thing. Regulators are coming down hard on companies that hoard user data, making it a massive liability. Products themselves have to work in these complex, temporary ways. And of course, security teams are desperate to reduce their attack surface. All of these forces are pushing us in the same direction.
Which brings us to the real punchline. Access is no longer just a side effect of logging in. It's not this one-and-done thing. It is a life cycle of decisions, a continuous, thoughtful process that we have to manage from beginning to end.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question, a really important one. Take a look at your product, at what you're building. Is it designed for a login moment, or is it designed for an access life cycle? Are you still just building a better front door, or are you thoughtfully designing the entire house? Because that's the question that really matters now.